Hey guys, it's Jack Solomon back again with another video for ICMS doing some workouts at home. Today what we're going to be doing is, like always, starting with a quick warm-up into some pre-activation and movement preparation, and then we're going to be going into our conditioning phase, and that's going to be 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off for 8 exercises, and you guys at home are going to be doing 3 rounds. Right now we're only going to be showing you 1, but you can actually do it as many times as you like if you want to push yourself, and then we're just going to be going through a quick cool down. For our warm-up, because we're obviously in a home situation, what we're going to be doing is just starting off with some running on the spot, some high knees and some butt kicks. Then we're going to go into some jumping jacks, as well as some jump rope if you have one. If you don't have a jump rope, what we're going to do is we're just going to go through the motion, and then we're going to do some arm circumductions and some hip rotations. And following that, for our pre-activation, we're just going to be doing some crab walks. So starting off, we're just going to do that jogging on the spot. And what you can do with this is you can also run back and forth or turn it into some strides. So you can see Maddie here, she's just running back and forwards. With limited space, you're gonna do what you can. If you do have the space to actually go out and run a little bit further, that's definitely better, but do what you can. So you're gonna do this between 30 seconds and a minute, whichever you feel you need, and then you can go straight into butt kicks on the spot. Again, just do this for about 30 seconds. Make sure you're actually making contact with your heels and your butt and keeping your chest nice and proud. So then after that, we're just gonna go into some high knees, making sure you're actually pushing those knees through explosively. As you can see, Mad's got her hands out, which is a great way to make sure you're getting your knees high enough. So following that, she's just gonna go straight into some star jumps, making sure that you're actually extending your arms all the way above your head. You want this movement to actually be getting your heart rate, so you're gonna do it at a reasonable speed. So as I mentioned earlier, the next movement we're actually gonna be doing is skipping, but it's something you can do without a rope as well, so you can actually do the movements as if you had a skipping rope. Making sure you're coming off the ground as if that skipping rope was actually going under your feet. As you can see, Maddie's actually switched her technique, so that both are fine. You can either do double foot or alternating feet, and both are going to be able to get your heart rate up. Lastly, what we're going to go into is a couple of dynamic movements, and she's going to start with open and close the gate. I didn't mention this earlier, but this is a great movement, especially for the exercises we're going to be going into. Notice how she's really getting her knee nice and high up, and she's not doing the movement really, really quickly. It's helping just to make sure that she's activating her hips. So after that, she's just going to go into some arm circumductions. So you at home, you guys can do about 30 seconds each way, 15 seconds each way is what we're going to do on the video. So in 2 seconds, she's going to swap. By now, you should really be feeling warm. Feeling warm, Mads?
Yeah.
Okay, and then she's gonna do some hip circles. And what you can do, you go 6 to the left, 6 to the right. All right, and the last movement we're gonna do is we're just gonna be doing some crab walks with the space you've got. So getting to that athletic position, you can use a band for this, but it's not necessary at all. As long as you're focusing on contracting your glutes, the movement's gonna serve its purpose, and you're gonna feel that activation, and you'll be ready for the movements that follow. So in this space, we'll just go side to side 4 or 5 times. So Maddie's got maybe 2 or 3 left. And that's going to do us for the warm-up, and we'll get straight into some conditioning. So as I mentioned before, the conditioning phase of our exercise today is going to be interval training. So we're going to be doing 40 seconds on for the exercise and 20 seconds of rest. And in that rest, what we're going to be doing is a little bit of stretching, making sure we're getting water and that kind of stuff. What we're going to be doing is some lunges with explosive high knees. That's going to then move into some in and out squats with a ground touch. Following that, it's going to be some fast feet into burpees. Next will be skaters, then shoulder taps, followed by some mountain climbers, bicycle crunches, and finally we're going to finish off with some Supermans before we do our cool down. So Maddie's going to be going into some reverse lunges into an explosive high knee. And so we're going to be doing it for 40 seconds. What she's going to be doing is 20 seconds on each leg. And you see how she's not going back onto the ground, she's actually lunging back into that explosive high knee. So she's got 5 seconds and then she's going to be switching legs. You're going to swap now, Mads. All right, so she swapped legs. Notice how she's keeping her chest nice and high. She's making sure to stay balanced, and her legs are coming out at about a 90 degree angle. She's got 8 more seconds to go, and then she's going to be going into 20 seconds of rest. All right, so rest, Mads. So what we're going to have Mads do is she's going to get a drink of water, and then for the 10 seconds that she has before her next workout, she's going to do some stretching. Whatever she needs to do. Awesome, Mads. So the next movement we're going into is the in-out squats with the alternating arm ground touch. So we'll be going for 40 seconds, and we are trying to get as many reps as possible during this time, but I also don't want you to compromise the quality of the reps for the speed. So I want to make sure that you're actually going down into that full range squat. You're getting to parallel, or where your knee is below your hip crease, sorry, above your hip crease. And so we got 10 seconds to go. Mads has done really well, so she's keeping her chest up, her shoulders are back, she's alternating arms, and she's got that good pace. So Mads, you can go into a bit of rest now. So if you need to grab a drink, grab a drink. If you don't. But after doing something like a squat, you might feel like stretching your hip flexors out. So you could just go 5 or 10 seconds on each hip flexor. So you just swap legs. It's gonna stop you from getting too tight. And then we'll move into the next movement. So after that 20 seconds break, all we're gonna do is we're going to go into some fast feet. As you see, into a half burpee. So not going all the way down, but we are extending our legs all the way out. So the fast feet is up to your choice. We do around like 5 or 6 each foot, and just really try to move quickly. Make sure that you're keeping your back straight when you hop out into that half burpee, and you're fully extending your legs out as far as you can to make the movement a little bit explosive and keep the heart rate up. So Mads is almost done. She's gonna have 10 seconds to go, and then we're gonna go into another 20-second rest before we move into our next movement. So Mads, you got rest now. So what stretch do you feel like you're gonna do? Okay, so Mads is gonna go into the Cobra stretch. She's got 10 seconds to stretch out or grab a drink, whatever she feels like she needs to do, and we'll go into the next one. So as you can see, Maddie's working really hard. We've got that heart rate up, we're breathing pretty heavy, and we're gonna go straight into skaters after that 20 seconds of rest. So we really wanna be jumping to the side, trying to make the movement explosive and quick, and that's gonna make sure we actually keep our heart rate up throughout the exercise. Good job, Mads, keep it up, you're halfway there. So notice how she's actually stretching her back leg out. She's not just tapping it. It's really good. 10 seconds to go. And then you might find you want to do something like a glute stretch, or you may even feel tight in your chest. You can go into a pec stretch, anything that works. So we're going to go into that 20 seconds of rest, Mads. don't feel like you have to stretch anything, you don't have to. So Maddie's gonna go glute stretch and switch legs. So really, it is just a quick stretch that's gonna stop us from getting too tight throughout the workout. And we'll go on to the next one. Movement is gonna be a core and shoulder focused movement. We're gonna be doing some shoulder taps and 40 seconds of these. So we wanna make sure we're doing the movement really, really slowly, right? And controlled. So slowly bringing your arm up and then slowly putting it down. And if you find you're rocking a little bit like Maddie is, that's okay. But what's better is if you make your legs a little bit wider, slow the movement down, and make sure you don't rock too much. And that's really gonna help to keep your core on. Keep it up, Mads. You only got 10 seconds to go. So really slow that movement down. Okay. So again, what I want you guys to do during your 20 seconds of rest, which we're moving into now, grab a drink, especially at this point. We're getting close to the end of our first set of exercises, and you will be starting to get tired. It is a hard workout. Good job, Mads. The next movement is gonna be mountain climbers, which is Maddie's gonna demonstrate now. So again, this is a core and shoulder movement. You need that stability. I really want you to be getting those knees high up towards your chest and just pumping out the movement. You got halfway there. These 40 seconds does go by pretty quickly, but when you put it all together, it definitely is a difficult workout to do. Keep it up, Mads. You've got 10 seconds to go. Keep pumping them. Notice how her back's flat and her head's in a neutral position as well. This is good form. All right, so we're gonna go into some rest. So Maddie's going into child's pose. It's gonna help stretch out her chest and as well as her lats. And for some people, it can also be a quadricep stretch, depending on your level of flexibility. Make sure you guys are drinking enough water throughout the workout too. So as I mentioned, we're finishing off with a bit of core kind of stuff. And what we're going to be working on is our erector spinae, and we're going to be doing some Supermans. This is one of my favorite movements. And so what Mads is going to be doing is, as she lifts her arms and her legs, she's going to hold the top of the movement for about 1 second to 2 seconds, and then she's going to slowly let the movement back down. So up, hold, and slowly let it back down. Throughout the 40 seconds, you shouldn't be getting really more than 10 reps if you're doing this in a slow and controlled fashion. So Mads is over halfway now. She's got 10 seconds to go. And you notice she hasn't actually got that many reps out, but I promise you, if you're controlling this movement and you're really squeezing at the top, you're gonna feel it. And rest, Mads. So definitely gonna be grabbing some water. That comes to the end of the first set. At home, if you guys want to, you can definitely do this 2, 3, 4, 5 times and really, really push yourselves to get the most out of the workout at home. Good job, Mads. So now that you guys have come to the end of your 3 sets in that workout, we're definitely gonna move into a cool down, and we're gonna be focusing on the muscles that we've used throughout today. So our glutes, our quads, our hamstrings, our calves, a bit of our upper back as well, and our shoulders. And we're going to show you a couple of stretches you can do for those now. I mentioned the stretches we're going to be going through today are going to be focused around what we've actually done in the workout. So we're going to be starting with a seated glute stretch, which Maddie will go into. As per my last video, at home, I want you to be doing these stretches for anywhere between 30 seconds and a minute. But in this video, we're going to be doing them for about 10-15 seconds just to show you how to do it basically. So swap legs. Really, really simple, this one. Great glute stretch. Okay, so Mads is then going to go into a quick hamstring stretch, just a seated hamstring stretch. And we have been over these before, so any of the videos you watch, you'll understand how to do these. So make sure you're keeping your back nice and straight as well. It's going to help to get that glute stretch. And then you're just going to swap legs. We're just going to hold it for 10 seconds. So following that, we're going to be getting onto our knees and we're going to go into a hip flexor stretch. This one's really, really important to do, guys, because a lot of people have really tight hip flexors because we're sitting in our offices or sitting at school in our chairs all day. And especially when we do things like squats, we're actually flexing them more. So especially this is a really important stretch to do. So just swapping legs again. Following that, what we're going to be doing is we're going to go onto a wall and we're going to do a calf stretch. So Maddie's going to put her hands up on the wall. She's going to bend her front knee and then she's going to push through her back heel. And you should feel that stretch in your back leg. And swapping legs. Awesome. So what she's going to do now is she's going to go into a lower back stretch. So all she's going to do is she's going to sit down. She's going to cross one leg over the other. One leg straight, awesome. And she's just going to, using her elbow, she's going to push her body to one side, right? She's going to swap. Stretching out that lower back. We're going to go into 3 more exercises. So I'm going to get Mads to hop up. She's going to go into a shoulder stretch. Really, really simple one. So pulling that arm across her body and resisting it. And swapping arms. Going into a tricep stretch again. Really, really simple. Just pulling that arm nicely down and swapping. Like I said, guys, we're only doing them for a really short amount of time, but at home, I want you to hold these for a bit longer. And finally, what she's going to be going into is an upper back stretch. So she's going to clasp her hands together. So if you just turn to the side, and she's literally just going to try and pull her arms away from her body, making sure that she keeps her shoulders down and pulls those arms away. This one's a really, really good one. And that's going to be it for our stretching. Hope you guys enjoy. So that brings us to the end of another workout with me and Mads. I appreciate all of you guys who have been watching the videos, and I hope that you've enjoyed the previous ones we've done and enjoyed today too. And definitely keen to do another one with us soon. Thanks, guys.